This is the latest folk horror film released in 2023. The terrifying atmosphere directly fills up. Let more people feel the charm of Chinese folk customs. The entire process of this film is high energy. It is strongly recommended that you invite your friends with great grievances to watch the legendary craftsmen who make paper shops. There are two Ike Corrig. First, never make paper figures for living people. Second, never give the paper man the finishing touch. But unfortunately, some people do not believe in evil. The butler of Kiafu in Baggy Town light paper binding shop. Boss Liu-san makes paper figures for living people. Unexpectedly, Liu-san used blood to point his eyes at the paper man. After roasting the paper figurine, unexpectedly, a human skeleton appeared. Immediately after, the woodcutter's grandfather suddenly died suddenly. All the people who have lived here before, mild to illness. If you are too serious, you'll end up dead. From then on, the low abdomen turned into a dark house. No one dares to approach again. Until today, ethnic journalist Lu Zixing from Xiaoshan Daily came to Baigi Town to investigate the paper man's soul returning incident. Of course he doesn't believe in these strange powers and gods. But it's been 20 years now. All parties have passed away. This bizarre legend is completely unfounded. Fortunately, there is no way out of heaven. Lu Zixing inquired about it. Liu-san has another disciple named Nanshan, living next door in Fuxi Town. From the mouth of Nanshan, there is another version of the story of the paper man's soul returning. Back then, the butler of the Chiao family brought a photo to invite Liu-san and make a paper figure. In the photo, it is evident that Chiao Yuaniren, a young lady from the Chiao family, was intimidated by the butler. Liu-san had to violate the rules. Completed. The paper man is delivering the paper man, hiding in the Chiao family's firewood by a strange and mysterious means. Witnessed a strange ceremony with my own eyes. Master stabbed the paper man to death with a random knife, but the damage was fed back to Yuan. Eventually, Horahara was buried in the sea of fire. But Liu-san clearly saw his soul transform into a paper man. Leaving. After returning from Kyo's mansion, Liu-san is lost in his wits. Even saw the round ghost. Ask him to help fix his eyes. Liu-san was scared. Hurry up and seek help from housekeeper Jeff. Mixing in the procession of Yuaniman's funeral to exorcise evil spirits. Unexpectedly, the team just started. I was hit by the crazy man Churn Ashing in the town. He shouted at the paper man for his life. Unveiling the charm. Opened the coffin. One wave hasn't flattened. Another wave has risen again. We're almost at the cemetery. Liu-san unexpectedly saw Yuan, who should have died in the funeral procession. Liu-san was so scared that he ran away. But I encountered a ghost hitting a wall, surrounded by paper figures. They only have one request to give the round paper figure the finishing touch. Liu-san can only follow suit. Then I fainted. After he woke up, found myself lying in front of the round tomb, surrounded by a paper man with his eyes lit. Wait for him to return to town. I learned about the sudden death of Master Chia. It is said that the round paper man's soul, wrenching and life-threatening injury to the entire Chia family, starting from 2023. Rocket. This is the most terrifying suspense horror film. Paper Man Revival. Friendly reminder. This is a movie that makes my spine feel cold after watching it. I strongly recommend watching with your big friends E.T. Liu-san is worried that Yuan will come to him with his apprentice. The boy went to Floating Water Town, and of course Lu Zixing doesn't believe it. At least not entirely convinced. The key to uncovering the truth lies in that crazy man named Churn Ashing. He was originally a genius from Braggy Town, and had a secret love affair with a beautiful girl named Xiaolian. The two of them agreed for life privately, but the Chiao family master also took a liking to Xiaolian. Unexpectedly, someone was sent to snatch it. Churn Ashing's small obstruction. But first beaten by the rape servant, caught by warlords again, the strong soldiers went to the battlefield. When he retires due to a leg injury, and returns to his hometown. But after learning that Xiaolian was giving birth to a son and a daughter for Master Chia, just passed away due to illness, Churn Ashing's mental breakdown, missing Xiaolian and becoming ill again. Finally, she married a paper figure just like Xiaolian. Liu-san is a friend of Churn Ashing's parents. Can't bear to see him sink like this. Pick a soul-calling secret from an ancient tree. If the relationship between the two is not yet complete, can attract the soul of Xiaolian. Liu-san's original intention was to make Churn Ashing understand reality clearly. Let go of your obsession with Xiaolian. I didn't expect his longing to be deeply ingrained. Unexpectedly, Xiaolian's soul was actually summoned, and attach it to the paper figure. From then on, Churn Ashing and Xiaolian lived a happy life. In the eyes of Churn Ashing, although he can't speak, and I rarely interact with him, but that paper man is Xiaolian. In the eyes of others, paper people are paper people. Churn Ashing, who lives with paper people, is a madman. Churn Ashing doesn't care about others' opinions. Crazy, as long as we can be with Xiaolian. To a certain day, he pushed Xiaolian for a walk as usual, coincidentally encountering the funeral procession of Yuan. Churn Ashing knows that Xiaolian can't let go of her daughter. Seeing a paper man inside the coffin, Churn Ashing finally breathed a sigh of relief. Unexpectedly, the leading master vented his anger of being collided with others on Xiaolian. The paper man was pushed down and trampled on. In the eyes of Churn Ashing, Xiaolian vomited blood from the beaten mouth. She is like a flowing thread. On one's deathbed, Zeolian finally spoke up, "When it comes to coming soon, I want to do it." True. Little Lotus transformed into petals dancing all over the sky, spiritual exhaustion, and angry Chernashing chased after the cemetery, hang the master from a tree after killing him, eventually arrested for murder. This poignant love story answered many of Lu Zisheng's doubts. But it's not yet the truth of the entire incident. Actually, Leo 3 Jewels and 3 Roots has no apprentice. This Boy is a Circle, the best folk horror film of the 2023 new year, was once praised by netizens upon its release. The process is filled with suspense. Watching the entire film will completely overturn your understanding of domestic horror films. Not long after Zeolian passed away that year, his son has contracted a strange disease. Master Chiang was poisoned by feudal superstition. The child is sick. He doesn't go to the hospital. Instead, we brought in the master. Practice. Master is even more outrageous. He actually said, "Yuan Yuan is the lonely star of the heavenly evil. Kill your mother first. Now I'm hitting my brother again, in order to extend my son's life." The young master who values boys over girls invites the master to practice the idea of living into a round daughter. So there was the mysterious ceremony witnessed by Liu San. But what happens next is different. Liu Sanian opens the way. Chronology. A Sheng took advantage of the chaos to rescue him. Yuan Yuan and Yuan Yuan are not at ease. My younger brother returned to Kyo's mansion again. Caught by the master, continue working. Chernashing collided with the funeral procession, just looking for a circle. So Liu San and Chernashing, who came to the cemetery to save people, were subdued. Just as Master Chow was about to kill Yuan Yuan, a hammer pierced his neck. The perpetrator is not someone else. It is Mr. Kyo's most precious son. In a daze, the second male sees someone trying to harm his sister, instinctively stepping forward to stop. Killing my father in such a muddled way. The matter should have settled with the death of Master Chiao. Unexpectedly, the master left a hand behind. He doesn't even know how to treat illnesses and save people. Master Kikaya is pushing too hard. Master, notify the police in advance. Wait for Master Chiao to kill his wife and daughter. Arrest this killer again. There must be a killer to deal with the investigating police and the angry Chiao family. So Chernashing stabbed the master to death with a knife, voluntarily staying to bear all the blame. Liu San sent the boy to the hospital. I hope he forgot everything that happened tonight. Yuanyun's pseudonym boy followed Liu San and left Baggy Town. Inherited the business of paper binding shops. The paper man doesn't touch the eye. It's not about being afraid of ghosts, but rather worried about Shengzhe placing too much sadness on paper figures. Liu San used his eyes to hide the truth, and spread the story of the paper man claiming his life. But he can deceive others, but he couldn't deceive the Chiao family's son. I'm sure everyone guessed. Mr. Kyo's son is the true story of journalist Lu Zisheng back then. Finally, 13 years later, it was revealed to the world. As a terrorist network, the Big Paper Man's soul returns in a certain petal opening at 6:08 p.m. has surpassed the vast majority of similar films. How strict are some office users towards horror movies? Everyone understands. A story occurring in the Republic of China. Lack of closeness to real life. But the elements that make up Chinese horror include paper figures, ghost-jumping deities, ferocious houses, and funeral mounds. Appearing in every corner of the paper man's soul, a row of paper people turned their heads and stared at you. Just ask if you are scared.